Ciao ragazzi, welcome to JSG Podcast. Greetings to all Bianconera families around the world. Welcome back to JSG Podcast channel. Podcast channel brought to you by Juventus Club of Singapore. For today, the new episode number 17, have a new special guest in the house. But before that, I would like to shout out to all viewers, subscribers, and even your comment. Thank you so much for the subscribe. So, without further ado, let's the show begin. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to JSG Podcast. For today, the new episode number 17. I have a special guest in the house. He's joining me now. But before he introduces himself or telling you how Juventus has affected his life, we have a short moment for today. Maybe this whole week, a lot of important events for Juventus, like for today, in the memory of the great Giovanni Agnelli. At the right back for Juventus, maybe it started in 1897, so he took over until now with his grandson. Everything is well. That is where you guys, me, Max, it's here for the Bianconeri. So to remembering him, the memory of Giovanni Agnelli. But not only that, the first trophy for Pirlo. He made it. Some of the Juventini have not very confident on that moment because after the loss against Inter Merda, we are going to the final against Napoli when they already beat Fiorentina with that large number of goals. Really. So let's have a great talk with Max. But before that, Max, welcome to the JSG Podcast, Max.
It's so nice to be here, and thank you so much for inviting me.
So, Max, as a tradition to all the viewers is watching, so you must brief yourself. Where are you from? Then, when is that moment that start you with Juventus? So, Max, the mic is yours, please.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, my name is Marco, actually, but all my friends call me Max. I'm known among my friends as Max. Right now, I'm living in Germany. I moved to Germany 3 months ago now. It's already been almost 3 months. So originally, I'm from Serbia, Belgrade. I've been a Juventus fan since 1996, and I remember that day pretty good. It was the Champions League final, of course, and I was with my family around the TV, and my dad is a former football player.
Oh.
So football is really a big thing in our house. And when it's a Champions League final, it's an event. It's really an event, and we all sit around the TV and we watch. And I was 10 years old then, and I was sitting in front of the TV, and I didn't actually at the beginning have like a team I was cheering for, but I kind of saw something in the old lady, and then the penalties came, and then I remember the announcer saying, and now here comes the decisive penalty. It's going to be taken by our very own Vladimir Jugovic. And it was like, and I was like this kid, and it's like, it's a Serbian guy who's going to shoot the penalty. So it's our guy who could solve everything. Yeah. Oh my God, it's so important. So like my eyes were this big, and of course he scored, and the Champions League was won.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that's the first and the only time I got to celebrate the Champions League success since I became a Juventino. But we're getting there. And yeah, that's also one of the reasons why today I'm wearing this celebratory shirt on your show. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how it all started. And yeah, since then it's just been buying jerseys, watching games, supporting in any way I can. You know, I even remember when I was a kid, a friend of mine had like this away jersey from, I think, season 98-99.
Wow.
And it was in such a terrible shape. It was all worn out from washing. You couldn't even see the Juve logo. Like it was you could barely see it. And I traded in my original Ferrara that I had got as a present one time. Original Ferrara that was very rare and very expensive at the moment. I traded in for this cheap, copy that you can't even see that it's a Juve jersey anymore. That's how much passionate I was.
Why you did that? Why? What was the real reason when you trade? Is there something special on that jersey?
I just felt that it's something special. I just felt that with all these small things that you do, you're kind of more and more a part of the community, a part of something bigger. And in the end, we're all passionate about something, right? So this is like this is mine. So everyone who knows me knows this. Like when Juve makes successes in Champions League or in Italy, winning titles, I get so many messages from my friends. It's like I'm playing. I have a feeling that so they're congratulating me. They're like, "Congrats, man!" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know it was hard."
We are proud. We become a Bianconera. We are proud. Yes,
very proud.
Yeah. So I've heard that there's a Serbia Juventus official fan club.
Yes, there is a Serbia official fan club. I'm its vice president, and the president is my dear friend called Maxim Ristic. A couple of years ago, we had this idea to give Serbia its first official fan club, and it's a very, very rough road to get there. I mean, you guys also know this. It's not easy to first get the people. I don't know how is it with the mentality in Singapore, but often when you ask and you're trying to explain this to people, they're always a little bit suspicious. Like, come on, we never had a fan club, like, what is this? Like, they're a little bit always suspicious in the beginning. But me and Maxim, mostly Maxim, because he does a lot of great work.
Yes.
He gathered this group, first a smaller group of people, then we built up this whole community around the core of Juventus fans from Serbia who really love traveling, who went to a lot of games. And we couldn't have done everything that we've done without our friends from Juventus Macedonia.
Yeah.
Another fan club that we're very close in touch with and and they're all made of amazing people. So many amazing people are from Juventus fan club Macedonia. And because there's so many paperwork things that are sometimes confusing that you have to do to open up a fan club, that it was important to us to talk with Macedonians who already had a fan club. So they would help us a lot. They would say, yeah, you have to do this, you have to do that, then send them this means that. So they really, really helped us a lot. So a big shout out to them as well. And yeah, it's been amazing. Unfortunately, because of this whole world situation right now, we're not able to provide to our members travels or going to games. So not even gatherings and clubs to watch the games together, which we also did a lot of times. That's also not allowed right now. So it's mostly online communication like we're doing right now.
But are you surprised on that moment when you and your friend decide to establish a Serbian Juventus official fan club? Are you surprised that there are lots of Juventus fans living in Serbia on that time?
Actually, yes. Because for a very long time, I thought that I was maybe one of the 5 people in Belgrade that cheered for Juventus. Yeah, because with whoever I talked with, whoever I encountered, I never met anyone with who I felt that, oh, this guy is passionate about Juve just as I am. I didn't meet too many people of these. Maybe people just don't talk about it, but I never met anyone. And then when the whole Juventus thing started, suddenly all these people started showing up. And I'm like, where have you guys been for all these years?
Yeah.
Like I've been looking for people like who are like you to like meet up and watch football, and they've been doing the same thing. If you ask them, they're going to tell you the same thing. They're going to be like, wow, look at how many people love Juve as much as I do. Yeah, there's a lot of us. I know. There's a lot of, and now we're all together. Like
wow.
thanks to this idea, it's really been amazing. It's really been amazing.
So does in the country that you are born in, Serbia, which country of football does dominance on that time? Like in Singapore, like for us, we was under a British colonial, so the English Premier League is the dominance in Singapore. But as the same as what you already explained, that there are Juventini, really diehard fans of Juventus, but being hiding in their own cave. When suddenly someone does this Juventus fan club, we are out to group together to show our support for Juventus.
No, I'm very proud of you guys, because I know how much hard work Juventus Fan Club Singapore does, and I know that you're an expanding, growing, big community, and that's really something to be proud of. Like really, I'm even before I talked with you or Farah that I mentioned, and a lot of people, I heard about the amazing things that are happening in Singapore, and it's we're such a community that we're all talking among each other, and of course we want to learn from other fan clubs as well. So we are very interested also in what you guys are doing and what other clubs are doing. Like every day there's like a new fan club coming out, and it's really, really an amazing job. But what you asked me, the thing is, right now the Premier League is also very popular, of course, because I think Premier League has the best league marketing at this point.
True. Yeah,
they have the best picture, the best times. They like really give it everything to their viewers. But I think Serbia is among countries that has this certain sympathy to culture, to Italian football. There's a lot of people today just, I like to watch Premier League. But when you say, Italian football, they're like, that was good football in the 90s, and and everything. Like everybody like has it somewhere here. It's like, culture. So I think a lot of people, maybe they don't watch Italian football as much as they did in the 90s, but definitely they're following. There's some, like they would watch Bologna Spezia, like nobody else in the world. Like who cares about that game in general? But there's something, it's culture. How can you not watch it? So
So maybe every Juventini already knows, because on the social media it's really say that Serie A names world best league after maybe if I'm wrong, maybe after 14 years.
After 14 years.
Yes, it's the first time that Serie A named world best league. But are you surprised to know that? Because after 14 years was dominated by other football country, but suddenly in 2020 Serie A, wow.
Well,
we are a bit proud because we are Juventus.
We are, sure.
Yes, yeah. So are you shocked to know that?
Not too shocked, honestly, because definitely the arrival of Ronaldo like really turned the spotlight on Serie A, and everybody is like now paying attention to what's happening in Serie A way more. To be honest, it is still a little bit surprising, because I always thought that Premier League, that no one's going to be able to reach Premier League, because they're pumping in actually a lot of money into that league, and with the big prizes. And in the end, okay, so we're Serie A is certified to be the best league, but it's still the club that gets promoted into the Premier League from the Championship gets more money from TV rights than probably Juventus does in 2 years. Like it's really an enormous amount of. So in the end, the only thing we can do with this information is just pat ourselves on the back. That good job for us. Yeah, awesome. What now? Still save money. So, but I think this is a good point, because if the quality of the league is actually going up, that's hopefully going to mean more viewers. With more viewers, hopefully more investments. With more investments, better players, better prizes.
Yes.
So yeah, it's all part of a good story.
Okay, so let's talk about the game against, you would say, the most, a lot of Juventus will have that frustration about the games against Inter Milan. So what's your take about it? Are we inconsistent? I would say inconsistent. After one game we play good, the other game we play bad. But when is the right time that we could go all the way and fight consistency?
Well, yeah, consistency has definitely been our biggest problem this year. I mean, I think one time only this season we've strung together 3 victories, and that's basically it. Everything else has been, well, you win some, you lose some. And to be honest, I don't see this as a big surprise, like so many new players and Pirlo in his new role. And there's so much, you can see this team and you can see that there's so much work to be done. And these things that are happening right now are just a natural consequence of all that. But I'm not trying to justify what happened against Inter, because I always I feel that during the season, there are some games that regardless of your form, they bring out the best in you, because you're, like if we lost 7 games in a row in Serie A and then went to play a crucial Champions League match, doesn't matter that you lost 7 games in a row. That's a crucial champion. Like the match itself motivates you. So I was kind of hoping that the Inter game would be the one that doesn't matter what the form is, what did we do, who do we win, who do we lose, from who do we lose. Like, you should be able to like really give your all against Inter. I'm not saying like win, of course, win is what we want, but just go out there. I want to see them fighting. I want to see them go into each other's faces. I want to see that you see in their eyes and in the way they play that they really want to win. And if you lose, that's football. That's sport. Yeah. You play good, they play good, but they played better. You lost. End of story. But to see a team so lifeless, and it's like they didn't care. It's like, and you're like just helpless behind the screen, and you're like, do something. Just do something.
Let me play. Let me play.
Yeah. If you don't want to do it, I'll do it. Yeah. Just put me. I got the jerseys and everything. I'll just dress up. I'm literally sure if you put 11 Juventini from Twitter, that they would have fought harder than what we've seen. That was my biggest problem with the Inter game. So in general, like, I think there are some things we need to swallow this season. This is definitely one of them. And winning the SuperCoppa hopefully meant that whatever talks they had after the Inter game, like, they did good for the team, or they realized some stuff, they lifted up. I hope that Pirlo also learned some stuff, like never play Rabiot and Bentancur together. That's one thing he could maybe learn from that game. And we'll see what the future now brings, starting today.
But I thought the game against Milan is that moment that we found our rhythm, we found our squad, that we're going to be consistent. But change after change again, maybe because of injury, this and that. Yes, things doesn't work out as planned. So to all Juventini, as Max say, maybe we could have to say this game, the win against SuperCoppa, maybe ease things a bit now. Because as you can see, it's about 50-50 people against Pirlo. Some of them say He needs time. But does you think that we as a Juventini is pampered of having won too many times? Then suddenly when we are about to not winning anything, we are panicked.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, the thing is, Agnelli in the end took one approach that's not always popular. And that approach is sometimes you need to be able to make a step back before you can make some steps forward. And, doing a step back is basically, in our point this season, getting a coach with no experience and doing this big team makeover.
Yeah.
And also doing all this in a situation where there's no preseason and COVID things are making everything even harder than they probably would be. So there's really a lot of things that Pirlo has to deal with. But the team, actually, if we're talking about the step back, it's actually only been a step back regarding results.
Yeah.
In general, I like how this team is playing far better than what I've been watching in the last 2 years. When we're playing a good game, and we played really a couple of really good games this season, like, I'm really enjoying football. I'm sitting and I'm having fun. I really know that my team is playing good. It looks good. They're scoring goals. They're interesting also to watch. While the last season with Sarri and also the season before with Allegri, that was so difficult to watch. Like, my eyes were bleeding. Like, I mean, you got to understand, I love Juve. I really love Juve, but I love the art of football too. I love watching good quality football, and there's nothing more in this world. And I think I'm not the only one who wants to cheer for your team and to enjoy watching your team. That it's not just, okay, this is painful, but Forza Juve. It's like, what can you do?
Yes.
It's like, come on, give me something. I want to open up a beer. I want to be like, ooh, wow, what a shit. That's why I loved having on the team players like, why I enjoy it. I don't know, there's a lot of people who don't like Cuadrado, but like Cuadrado has been instrumental for us. I know that a lot of people are like, yeah, he makes too much mistakes. He is like, no, but he is fast. He does, like some of his, little fancy tricks. He's unpredictable, like, we don't know what Cuadrado is going to do next. That's also like the people on the field that they're trying to protect. They also don't know what he's going to do next. Yeah, he might fuck up, but he might give you an assist like he did so many times this season. So yeah, I really want our team to be better. And I think Pirlo has made this team a lot better in terms of play on a lot of there's a lot of holes. It's still far off from being perfect, But yes, inconsistency has been a major issue, which also I kind of can't tell that I'm too surprised. Look how many games we're playing in such a short time.
Yeah.
Look, like the December is like this packed. Now January is packed like this.
Yes.
You got your Serie A, then you mix it with the SuperCoppa, then it's already time for the Coppa Italia. Yeah. And when all this is over, then the Champions League comes in February. And it's like, they're not, I said this to a friend, like, we should be probably making, instead of buying players for millions of euros, we should probably be making machines, because only robots can play in this schedule. This is insane.
But what would you, how to say, are you satisfied or agree that we have, how to say, put more effort or with a lot of youngsters in the club right now? Because as you can see, the tradition of Juventus, mainly a lot of experienced players from 30 and above. But now we are changing. We have a new young player is being exposed, lots and lots of games for them. Is it something good new approach, or you prefer the old?
Oh no, I definitely like what Pirlo is doing now with this. I definitely like, and I know I've been talking with so many people. Sometimes people are a little bit, like, changing their stories so fast, because everybody wants some things to happen, but nobody wants consequences for it. So, for example, you talk with a lot of people, they're like, oh, I wish we play better football. Oh, I wish we gave a chance to young people. And then youngsters get a chance, and then you don't win games, and they're like, what the bullshit is this? I'm like, yeah, you kind of got to, risk it sometimes. It's for the greater good later, of course. And I love that Pirlo is giving so many youngsters a chance. It's also good for the business of the club. You're like raising the values of, you're also motivating young players to come to your club. Like there's a big problem in general, and so many youngsters in the last years we've lost because they don't want to come. They know they're never going to play for Juve. They don't want to be our plus Valenza, like the only thing like the club is doing basically with younger players. If young players see that Juve is really giving a chance to youngsters, then we could really snatch up very talented youngsters from all over the world. Of course, some of them are going to make it, some of them not, but we're going to become definitely a more popular destination for the rising stars, for the stars at the, we see that already now also in Primavera, there are some players who are probably catching Pirlo's eye as well. And I'm for sure certain that in the next, maybe not now in this part of the season because the team is fixed, but I think during the summer and for next season, I'm sure we're going to see some new youngsters training with the first team, and that they're going to get their chance. And what about you? How do you feel about this?
Maybe we should include the women's team who win.
Oh yeah. And how do you feel about this?
But before that, is our youngsters ready or good enough for the first team? But what for me, like, we can't always look back on the past. We should move forward. We don't know what Pirlo thinks. We can see that things are going well, the right path. Yeah, I agree that more youngster and capable players should be exposed, or maybe give them a chance to grow. Not, but now it's like that. We sign a player, we send them to loan to other club. But when the time comes, it's good enough, we have to sell them. But then we have to buy players again. But why not groom them and bring it back and expose? We have to take that risk. When whether you lose or you win, that risk is very important. But I don't know, are we ready to take that risk? Or I don't know. Maybe because Juventus would say that we want to win now. We don't have the time to, invest for 4 to 5 years to get result. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah. For me, it's just weird that, Juve didn't force a little bit of this player grooming that you are also talking about earlier, because Juve has the Juventus Football Academy that's like really strong and everywhere in the world. So like they're really investing to uncover also young talents and bring them to Turin and everything. And then, we have this whole fancy complex, and now Vinovo has also become, I think, for the football academy, for the school, for the younger players to develop. So there's this big logistic around young players. And then when you draw the line to see what did this give to the first team, it's basically nothing. This is now what we're seeing on the Pirlo, the first time in a very, very long time that youngsters are actually having a role. Whatever role that is, it's fine. He can play in the Coppa, he can play a couple of minutes. Just like when we for sure won a game, like to close up a game. It's, and this is definitely something that needs to be worked on. Probably Agnelli and Pirlo have talked about this. And I like the direction in which this is going, because I think then it's just a matter of time when some super talented youngster is going to be able to take its place in the first team and give us more than just cameos. You see Rafia, you see how he solves the game for us. That's how it goes.
Yes, he's good. I see his skill is, wow, this guy it's good. Hopefully that Juventus will groom him, not sell him to another club. It's a waste of talent. You see. Then now, are you agree of we buying a striker now? or we should
Definitely.
do we have the money to buy things, or do we have to sell players to get players? That's the main thing now.
Well, I think because we want to buy, the idea is general to get a backup striker, so not a striker that's for the first 11. So automatically we can assume that the striker that would come wouldn't be like some high-profile, expensive striker. So I'm pretty sure that all these options that we were reading in the paper and on Twitter and on other news sources, all these solutions didn't seem that expensive. So I think it's something that Juventus can afford at this moment. We definitely need one. You saw it. If one striker, like we only have 3 options in the attack, basically. I mean, 4 if you count Kulusevski. But like I kind of would rather see Kulusevski on his side where he has the freedom of dribbling and playing. I don't like the idea of him being closed up front, but maybe this also works out. We'll see. But for me, that's already improvisation. You need to have a clear striker, somebody who's really there to, to at least give Morata a rest or Dybala a rest or Ronaldo for sometimes. Why not? You definitely see at moments that there's, oh man, I mean, how many games have you watched this time and you're like, damn, we could really use another striker right now?
Yes.
And especially in this schedule.
But if given the opportunity, if you have given a chance, who will you sign?
My choice went to Milan a couple of days ago. My choice signed for Milan. Because to be honest, I was sure. I mean, there was a lot of debate online if Mandzukic is fit enough to play again in Serie A. Is he or is he not? It's something that we'll definitely find out once the season is over. He's going to have his chance over there. But I always thought that Mandzukic, to be a backup striker, he could do this role. He's not fit to be the first option or anything, but I just miss having a fighter like this in the team. Like, we are really in low supply, and he was on a free transfer, so economically, he felt to me like a good solution. As a player, he felt to me as a good solution. But the only thing this whole situation, I think, probably told me is that probably too many bridges were burned when he left, obviously. So that's such a shame, honestly. But who would you pick? Who does it? Yeah, who does it sound to you as a good option for us at this moment?
If we have the money, or if we have the choice of given the money to buy.
So, would you rather already now look for a player that's like for beyond this season, or would you just find something temporary until the end of the season?
My heart goes to the same as you. I will bring the Super Mario back to Juventus to have his influence there, of his fighting spirit. It's greater than everything. He is the man, but I don't know why Juventus never see him that way. But truthfully, as you can see, it's a lot of years when players have contributed and giving all to Juventus, then suddenly, I would say, it was not appreciated. It's too sad to see there's no proper farewell. Does it cause a problem in Juventus now? And we can see a lot of players play for other team and maybe other country. You can see their proper farewell when they have the last game for their club. But for us, do you want it to be improved on that situation when players get appreciated? That's the question from day one. I want to try. Who am I going to ask that question? But today, you are the most, we will say, chosen one to answer that.
Now, when it comes to player appreciation, I think that's a little bit of a painful topic for a lot of players that we kind of expected that things were going to go differently. I don't even have to name the players. We all know who they are. And I think having an icon like Pirlo could also help in this department.
Yes.
In time, if he stays for us, because as a former player, as someone who was there for a lot of things, I think he's gonna better understand the value of everything. And I think there could be a little bit of his influence in all this. I'm kind of hoping, there is gonna be a little bit of more influence when it comes to giving some players the recognition that they deserve. And a couple of times we kind of felt also with Sadi, and the problem is we never know what's happening behind closed doors. That's the biggest problem. And sometimes there are probably arguments that we don't know, or disagreements, or maybe just in the end this is all something that we all personally wish, but maybe some players could also come and say, listen, nothing fancy, I'm just out. It's also possible. So I'm kind of hoping that this trend is going to go down. Obviously, Agnelli, by bringing Pirlo in, is trying to change the whole vibe and atmosphere around the club to bring it a little bit back to also some football values that Pirlo for sure has. So hopefully that's going to help for this to change as well.
So who is the player that you said to see he's leaving Juventus? Who is that player that sadly leave Juventus? Who is that player for you?
From this rooster right now?
That only player. I think a lot of viewers, a lot of people maybe have that same name players as you. So who did you set to leave Juventus?
I'll tell you something which is very, very weird for a lot of the Juventini that I talked with. You know who I was sad to see leave? And there's literally no Juventino other that I heard that they were sad to see him leave. And that's Van der Sar. When I was young, and when Van der Sar left, I was like, oh man, I was like so bummed out. Like why did he? I liked him. I know he wasn't as good as he was later in the career, but there was something about him that it even made me want to be a goalkeeper. Like it was just like he had this something. I can't explain what it is. And when I was in Turin the last time when we were playing Ajax, we were all in line waiting for Agnelli to come out. Yeah. And Van der Sar just came out before him.
Yes.
And he went to his car, and I could have easily ran to take like a picture or an autograph or something. Nobody was around him. Nobody cared about him. And I was like, and then I was like, but I don't want to miss Agnelli, of course, because Agnelli was coming. So I was like, okay. So I missed my chance. But I was very, very, very sad to see then, of course, with Gigi and everything that came after, definitely made the club better. And Gigi is my icon. Like seeing Gigi leave, that's one of the hardest things. Of course, the Del Piero goodbye, that's also very difficult to see. And from this rooster, like right now, I think definitely the modern football kind of killed a bit the romance towards football that we had before, because now it's so easy. Players come, players go, they go for more money, so it's kind of a little bit not as it was before. But, like I'm in this rooster, like really hoping that Dybala comes back to his old form, because I think nothing is as nice as when you see a happy Dybala scoring goals. Like that's when he has that vibe, that he has everything under his, like you feel like the whole world is under his feet. Like when he's really into it. It's been a while since we've seen this Dybala. We got to be honest. But he was slowly coming back to it, and now he's out again. Yeah. So I'm kind of hoping that he finds his feet under Pirlo. And what about you? Which is yours? Who has your
I did cry on that day when Del Piero was his last match. I couldn't take it much to see he has given everything for the club. Then he have to leave just like that. I don't know what as what you say, what happened behind closed doors. We never know. So, but hopefully things will change. That players will be appreciated more. Okay, now you talk about these supporters for the club. As you can, I would say as an example, when the great Maradona dies, you can see how it was celebrated. When Milan beat Lazio, how it was celebrated. Is it because Juventus fan can't do laws or can't do anything? It's because of the authority, or when we win something, is there any support that they maybe, yeah, when they came back to Turin? I love to see that. Yeah, it's because of the pandemic. Yes, we know that they are not allowed this and that. But how when others do it, but why can't we? That's the thing that we want to see. So,
Yeah.
what's your take on that? Is
Well,
it
yeah.
sad to see? Maybe it's sad to see that's happening. Why only Juventus that the other hit so hard, but other teams are not?
Like, it's very difficult. It's very difficult, and it's a very unpredictable time that we're living in. And to be honest, in these last couple of months, like with all the information going around, like it's sometimes very difficult to understand what's right and what's wrong and what's the truth and what's, so i'm I'm not sure so much why does it happen like this. I mean, I'm kind of hoping that when everything is over, when everything is done, that we're going to have some insight to what happened and better understand everything that we've been through.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm really like you, and like we talked also before the show and everything, just hoping for everything to pass so that we can just talk about all this period as, oh, remember the times when, Corona, oh, yeah, that was really weird. Yeah, you remember? And we do this over a beer with all our friends in front of the stadium. Now that would be amazing. And I know that day is going to come, and it's going to come. I hope at least, like, I hope next year. Like, I think this year still it's going to be like this, but I'm kind of hoping that from next year things are going to really go back to normal.
So maybe you can share your experience with the viewers, your first time to the stadium. How does it feel?
Oh,
When
man.
was that? Which year was that?
That actually wasn't so long ago. That was like 2015. The first ever game I watched was our quarterfinal against Bayern Munich in the Champions League. When we played 2-2.
Yeah.
And that was it was just insane. It was just insane. And I remember I was walking with Adam Digby, the journalist.
Yeah.
And we were walking together, and we were approaching the stadium. And for him, of course, he's been numerous times at the stadium, but he looked at my face, and my face was just like, if my jaw could have dropped any deeper, it would have been here. And I was just mesmerized. It took me 10 minutes of looking at the stadium to actually believe that I'm looking at the stadium. It's like, you watch it for so many years also on the TV, and that there's what's going to happen, and it's just so much for your head to take in. And I was so excited and very happy to be there also with Maurizio from around Turin, who is really a great friend, and with all these people who are so passionate about it. And it felt like I was in a Disneyland. Like, everything was just like, the people were having this amazing vibe. The stadium was like this. There was like beers, and everybody selling T-shirts and scarves, and it's like so much vibe around it. It was incredible, like really, really, really incredible.
So hopefully one fine day we could go to the stadium together. maybe have a live podcast maybe in Turin. It will be a great atmosphere at that time.
That would be amazing.
Yes.
Imagine you do a live podcast
Yeah.
in front of the stadium. That would be really
So did
amazing.
you manage to visit the museum or walk around the stadium? Did you manage to do that?
Yeah. Oh, of course. The first time I actually went to Turin, I was there for 7 days. And it's one of the rare times actually that I've traveled alone. I usually travel with somebody.
Okay.
And my thing is because I tried to organize to go into Turin a lot of times before.
Yeah.
And always somebody cancels. Always somebody's like in the last second, oh man, sorry, I can't make it. Oh, something came up, I don't have the money for it now. And then we canceled the trip like 15 times.
Oh.
So one time I got pissed off and I just sent a message to everyone. I said, I'm leaving for Turin. The plane is on this and this date. Whoever wants to join me there, welcome. If nobody comes, I leave alone. I don't care. And I left alone. So I went to Turin actually to watch, because the next game after the Bayern Munich game was the Inter game.
Oh.
Against Inter. So like 2 big games in 1 week.
Yeah.
And for this game, I had a ticket.
Okay.
Yeah. And for the Bayern game, I didn't have a ticket yet. And I thought, okay, I don't have a ticket for the Bayern game, but I'm like, the city is going to be like this. Yeah. I'll find some good coffee place outside and I will just sit in a bar with other Juventini, have drinks and enjoy the game. And while I was on my way to Turin, my dad, who knows Bata Mirkovic.
Okay.
My dad knows him personally. Yeah. And my dad called me and he says, I got in touch with Mirkovic. And I'm like, really? You did? And he said, yeah, I sent him a message and I told him that you were going to watch Juve and that you don't have a ticket. And I'm like, yeah. He says, you got a ticket waiting for you in the offices. Oh. And I'm like, what? Oh. Yeah. So like when I arrived to Turin with my bags, I went directly to the offices of Juve.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was my first impression of Turin. I saw the balcony where those players, like when we signed Tevez and and everybody saying, so I saw the balconies and I just went inside the offices and they were like, can we help you? And I'm like, I'm here to take my Champions League ticket for tonight. And they're like, all the tickets are sold out. There's no tickets. And I'm like, yeah, but there should be a ticket for me. My name is so-and-so. Like, can you look into it? And the guy was like, okay. And he went like through some envelopes. Yeah. And he was like, oh, Mr. Max, here you go. Here's your ticket for tonight. And I'm like, wow. So I am very grateful. I'm not sure if Bata Mirkovic is going to watch this.
Hopefully it will be an honor.
If he watches this for any reason, I'm eternally grateful for this. And this story of him helping me get a ticket to go watch a game is something that I'm probably going to tell to everyone until the day I die. So like, it's just, I'm very grateful for this.
Yes. You are very lucky to have a great.
Very lucky.
Yes. You have a great and maybe popular dad on that time who knows everyone. Wow. I wish it happens to me too. When I got the ticket for me, wow. So
that was luck. That was just luck.
Yes. But by the way, on your journey, did you met any Juventini at the airport or on your way inside the plane? Is there any experience that you met any Juventini on the way on the same route that you are going to?
Actually, when I arrived, I stayed at the hotel where all Juventini stay.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Ponte Sassi. A lot of Juventini know about this hotel. And it's, of course, owned by a great Juventino, Luca Carpi, and also a great friend. Yeah. And before I left for Turin, I, of course, contacted Maurizio from around Turin. And, at first I was like, oh, my God, I'm talking with some Italian guy like Maurizio, and I know who he is. It's a little bit risky. You're going to a city you've never been to spend time with people you've never met. So it's, a little bit. But to do that was the best thing that I did for myself, because he put me in this, helped me choose this hotel where so many Juventini were together with me. And like in every room, there was some other like people from other countries. Like I also met a person from Finland. I met a person from America. Like, and we were all even having, you wake up in the morning and you go into the hotel to have breakfast and everybody is there. And actually that's, you can also say, of course, hi to Farah, but that's the first time I've heard of Farah.
Oh,
that's the first time I heard of Farah. Like, they were talking very nicely about how nice she is, and how like that was the first time that I heard of her. And it was an incredible experience, because also Maurizio, on the day of the Champions League game, organized for all us who called him to go into the Alps, which was like 45 minutes away by car. So he organized a car for us, a van, and we all went together up to the Alps and had a beautiful lunch together and a beautiful view where you can see the Alps, the mountains, and we played football in the snow. And it was one of the best days of my life. Like, really, honestly, one of the best days of my life. And if you ask Maurizio or anyone else, they will also remember this day pretty good, because it was really, really memorable. It was really nice. And then when we got to the stadium, there was other Juventini and then a lot of other fan clubs. I met so many people, like, really, everyone who knows me and who watches this, like, my heart goes out to you. Like, it was really great spending great time with all of you.
But you are still in contact with them till now? Everyone?
Yeah, with a lot of them, I haven't actually spoken with Michael for a long time, but there's also Andrew, and there's a lot of people. I mean, now, especially in Corona time, I mean, I don't see much of anybody when it's Corona now, but in general, Twitter is just expanded, actually, this online community now of all the people also who have met and who know somebody else who knows somebody else. You see, now I know you, and also, so this is also a new person now in my life that I know that shares the passion. And I'm really grateful to what being a part of this Juventus community has given me in the last couple of years. It's really amazing.
But honestly, I was mixed up between you and there's one Juventini in Twitter called Max. I see. Is it this same Max or it's different? That's why he was celebrating his birthday. I said, I text you, Max, happy birthday, but you say no, it's not much. So I said, what? Is it different? That is very, very complicated. So now we know which Max is Max. So now you can see, viewers. Now you can see who is the Max that we invited. So don't forget to check or subscribe to his channel. Follow him in Twitter. So a great Juventini, like everyone. Okay, now.
Thank you so much.
But before we say goodbye, what's your prediction for the match against Bologna?
We're gonna nail. I would be more afraid if we didn't see both Milan clubs fail last night.
Yeah.
Both Milan clubs dropped points. I think this is going to fire up the team. And I would say, I think we're even going to probably get a clean sheet tonight. So I would give like a 3-0 to us, easy.
Your squad or your formation, who will you choose? What formation will you play for this match?
Well, I think right now what's most important for us is that De Ligt is coming back.
Yes.
As far as I saw, De Ligt is finally my boy.
Yes.
My boy.
Negative of COVID.
Yeah, thank God.
Now everyone is back on the defenders back line. Everyone is ready to go.
And I'm just very interested that now, after seeing everyone back, I'm just interested. What are they going to do? Like, what does it take to remove Bonucci from the starting 11? That's what now is very interesting to me. I want to see in which combination Like, for what does Pirlo at this point see most appropriate for this team? Because you got Chiellini, who's getting stronger and stronger, and at one point he will have to play, and you got Demiral with all that potential that he is showing and all this controversy and behind doors that he is not happy with the minutes, so you gotta satisfy him as well. And you got De Ligt, who's not our best defender, and not only in Juventus, he's like one of the world's best defenders. And then you got Bonucci, who has basically been protected a lot by his passing abilities and the fact that the others weren't available, but now everybody's available, so I'm very interested to see if I saw good. The midfield trio is going to be McKennie, Arthur, and Bentancur. That's what I saw. So that should be good. That's, to be honest, my preferable midfield at this moment, for sure. And I don't think Pirlo is going to change too much regarding everything else. I think he's going to stick to his guns, and I think he's going to just go on full on attack. I mean, we need 3 points today. We just got to get them. We have to get them.
Would you agree, should Pirlo retain the squad against Napoli? Because after Bologna, we have the Coppa Italia match against Spal. Should we put the best 11 against Bologna and maybe the team B against Spal, or there's any other way?
I would do exactly what you said. Like, I would just throw out because this now is a big chance for us to come back into the title race.
Yeah.
So today is really, really important. When it comes to cup match, just give the kids to run out. Just, give a chance to everyone. It's really, at this point, Coppa Italia, it sounds good. It's really not necessary. In any other conditions, like, I would always go, of course, we're Juve, we need to win everything. And to be honest, I believe it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. I said this before the last Coppa game. Everybody was like already writing off Coppa. They were like, yeah, we don't care. We can lose this one. They were like, just because we're playing the kids doesn't mean that we're going to lose.
Yes.
These kids are playing for Juventus, for the first team of Juventus, because they were good enough to be there. And if they're good enough to be there, they can also win the game. It's perfectly fine. But we need to rest our stars. So, like, for Spal game, like, just give everyone a game off. And we need to focus on other things at this point.
So the best partnership would be Chiellini, De Ligt, and Bonucci, Demiral.
Oh yeah. I would play Chiellini, De Ligt straight out of that's my dream partnership at this moment. I know that Chiellini is a little bit fragile, but having also a strong defender that he doesn't have to think about also helps him not to get into too many risky situations to potentially get injured. So I would definitely keep the two of them together.
So it's a clean sheet. Will you play Szczesny or Buffon? So you will keep Buffon on the Spal game, maybe.
I gotta tell you, it's Gigi is my icon. Like, Gigi is, I would always play Gigi. Like, I don't see putting Gigi as, let's give Szczesny a rest. Like, no, he's the GOAT. He is like, he can play whenever I would put Gigi tomorrow in a Champions League final if we were playing one. He, of course, doesn't have maybe the reflexes or everything else he had when he was like 25 or 26, but he makes up for all of this with his experience, with his command at the back. And
his presence does change everything.
It's like you put a general in a goal.
Yeah.
You put a general who's like, okay, this is how we're going to do it. And everybody's like, yes, sir. It's like, that's no problem. And this is, for example, one quality that I love Szczesny. I really love him. He's a great goalkeeper, totally underrated, one of the best in the world, for sure. But this is something that he lacks. This is something that he lacks, to be this presence commander that everybody's like, from the back. And this is something that not every goalkeeper has. This is something that's very unique to Gigi, that Gigi got through all his years of experience and, being the icon that he is. So I would play Gigi whenever. Like, I would always choose him first.
Yes, I would do the same as you. Gigi is Gigi. No one can replace him. He is the one. Maybe as I said, his presence does change everything. Only his presence. He do not need to play. He just can stand there. But his vibe that pass around to everyone, that really go hard to fight all the way. That is the motto of Juventus. Like, fino alla fine, until the end, you won't stop fighting. That's what we are for now.
It's like, I always believed that, when our defense like makes a clearance or something, and then Gigi comes and presses your head next to his, like, I always feel that there's some power, some electricity that he just transmits into you to make you angrier, to make just like, that's
when he does that, I also does when watching the match. I also does feel that power comes to me to make us more stronger and believe that we can do it. Yes, we can.
Yeah, it fires us up, and we're watching it on the TV. Imagine what it does to the players over there.
So do you think the road to number 10 is the correct path, or is the path that we are going to? Are you optimistic of that?
The number 10 it's a bumpy road. Yeah. It's a very bumpy road. And right now we're in a position that it's not up to us. So it's going to depend a lot what the others are going to do. And if something showed us last night is that definitely the other clubs are very fragile, so they can also drop points. And we just got to do our part to be ready to use it when they slip up. So I think Luca Momblano also said this.
Yes.
It's like 55 points to go. That's it. Like, just, it's like, just do it. Like, that's the goal. You got to just do this and you get the title. So I'm pretty sure that in the end, whatever happens, it's a transitional year. I think the goal of Juventus should always be the title. Doesn't matter if it's a transitional year. So we always have this goal, and I'm sure that the boys are going to do everything they can. But right now, we're not in a position that it's up to us. So yeah, we also have to hope for a little bit of luck.
Okay, Max. Thank you so much for being here to accompany me, joining me to do this calibration. But before we end this podcast, I would like to shout out to all viewers, subscribers to JSG Podcast channel. Do not forget to stay tuned and watch out for the next week, the new episode, a new guest. But before that, please do check out Max on his Twitter's channel. Give a follow, and we will say we are ready for the match against Bologna. Hopefully the consistency stays. That's what we will fight till the end, no matter what. Game after game, we can do it, guys. We can do it. Okay, but last but not least, Max, any words you want to shout out to the viewers?
Well, first of all, I just want to say one more time, thank you for inviting me. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be on your show, and I sincerely hope it's going to be more. There's going to be more opportunities for us to talk like this.
Yes, for sure.
I really had a nice time talking to you, and I would like to say hello to all the Juventus fans, especially in Singapore. We're all following what you guys are doing, and we know you're a great community. We all look up to each other, and we learn from each other. And of course, if there's anything you need us for help or whatever, you can always reach out. I know this is a very difficult time for a lot of people, and having conversations also like this to take our minds off some big issues that are happening in the world right now. I know it helps me as well. So yeah, let's all stick together and fight through this whole situation in the world, and of course hope that it's going to be the 10th in a row.
Yes,
so big,
yes,
big hello, big hello from Europe, Germany, for all of you over there.
From on behalf of Juventus Club Singapore, to all Juventinis, to all viewers out there, stay safe and healthy. We will fight till the end. Forza Juve. Ciao ragazzi. Ciao.